What it do, y'all? This your boy Jay Black.
It's fire.
And welcome to another episode of The Rundown. We have a very special guest in the building tonight. We got pro status artist, hip-hop artist, actor.
And activist.
Indeed. How y'all doing, man? It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey,
How you feeling, man?
Yeah.
Everything is good, man. We about a week and some change away from the release of my new project, Innovation 3, Anxiety. It's been a very long process, but yet a very prosperous journey, getting to this point, man. And, me and Tiny invested so much time and energy, a lot of long days and even longer nights, creating this piece, man. And I'm very proud of it, man. I really am. It's definitely by far my best album.
So how many projects is this for you?
This will actually be album number 8, but my 15th project overall.
That's hard. So let's take it back a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your story, how you came up, in this music.
Well, actually, I had 3 things, growing up, as a child. My father was in the military, the United States Air Force, for over 30 years. So we moved around a lot. And there was 3 things that I knew I was going to have no matter where we were living at that time. That was going to be, movies, hip-hop, and basketball. Those are the three things that kept me sane, throughout my childhood, moving around so much. I remember my first, the first parental advisory CD that actually snuck into the house successfully, and that was Tupac's Me Against the World, man. So I knew once I heard that, I knew that hip-hop was something I wanted to be a part of my life, going forward. But I didn't really start taking hip-hop seriously and saying, hey, this is something I may actually want to do until I heard Reasonable Doubt. That changed everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
So do you remember the first song you made?
My very first song, it was terrible. It was definitely a terrible song, but it was a song called Armani Suit. That was the first song I ever made, and it was.
Did you have one at the time?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The only time I saw Armani was when I purchased a magazine from the store. That's the closest I ever got to Armani.
So how did you get your name?
Oh, that's a great question, man. All right, so I got my name actually from my college basketball coach, Joe Nyland. So my senior year, we were having what was called an exit interview. At the end of the year, the coach gets all the players, and we have individual meetings with the coach, and he tells us what we need to work on going to the following year. But I was actually prepping to play at the professional level, so my exit meeting was a little bit longer than everybody else's. So he brings me into the office and he said, look, even if you don't do what you want to do at the professional level, you yourself are a professional person. You have a professional status about you. Mm-hmm. So when he said professional status, my nickname was always Pro because of how I carried myself. But when he said professional status, I was like, that actually sounds kind of dope. And to this day, he doesn't know that he's the reason why my name is Pro Status. So, Coach, I appreciate it.
Shout out, Coach. Shout out, Coach.
Indeed.
Salute, Coach. So how'd you get your start in music?
My start in music came probably around 2010, 2011. I started off as a host for a weekly poetry night that I had called The Power of Words. And, poetry and hip-hop have a lot in common. And I'm one of those guys, I still think lyrics still matter when it comes down to the hip-hop culture. So that's something that I always take seriously, no matter, what type of production I'm on. I make sure that I'm saying something that has some type of substance in it when I'm recording. So my first project came out in 2012, and it was called Innovation, which is the first installment to the trilogy of Innovation. And it had a lot of underground success. So once I started getting positive feedback from that project, that's when I started gaining, a lot more confidence in myself as an artist that I could actually do it. Because being a basketball player, you hear all these stories about basketball players wanting to be rappers and then rappers wanting to be basketball players, and I actually wanted to be, in the company of those that could actually do both. So I went just as hard in the studio as I did on the court.
For sure.
So with this COVID going around,
Oh, man, yeah.
is that affecting your grind as an artist? Any?
I would be lying if I said that it didn't. The thing about being an independent artist that people need to understand is that There is no multi-million-dollar budget behind you. There is no label behind you that kind of gives you this financial cushion that allows you to get certain things done. When you are truly independent, you are self-invested. You know,
Yeah.
production has to be paid for, graphic design has to be paid for, studio time has to be paid for. So when you are, working your, quote unquote 9 to 5 or your day job, to raise funds to not only take care of yourself, with your personal business, your bills and things of that nature, but you got to invest in your craft. A lot of artists have to end up hitting the road. They have to pay for videos to get views. They have to invest into, social media marketing, and that can take a toll on an artist. And me being an artist and an actor, it not only affected things for me when it came down to my music, but as for my acting career, I had 14 auditions canceled on me as soon as things shut down with the COVID pandemic. And yes, it messes with your confidence, it messes with your self-esteem, because now you're doing everything to not only keep your head above water, but you're trying to remain relevant. Music itself is a beautiful thing, but it's also a contact sport, and you have to be your biggest supporter. Because at the end of the day, man, like, nobody cares. Doesn't matter what you're going through. You can have the best circle of friends in the world, but at the end of the day, nobody cares, and that's the attitude that that I carry on. I know I have supporters out there that stand by me and want to see me win, but I see myself as a one-man army, because if something goes wrong, I have nobody to blame but myself.
So describe to us like your style as an artist. We've heard you, but like for the people who haven't heard Pro Status, kind of describe your style.
I have matured as an artist with every project that I've done. My era of hip hop consists of icons like Rakim Allah, LL Cool J, DMX, Jay Z, Nas. I come from an era to where you could turn on the radio and know exactly who you were listening to. Back in my era, we weren't making lifetime decisions as to whether or not we were going to purchase an album or put gas in the car. I remember having a weekly allowance of anywhere between $20 and $40 a week. And I knew exactly where $15 to $20 of that money was going. I was going to either Circuit City or Sam Goody, Best Buy, when CDs were still a thing, and I knew what album I was going to purchase. We didn't have the luxury of hearing an album before it came out. You would have one or two singles, you would have a video, and you knew right then and there that you were going to, purchase that album. But as hip hop continued to, evolve, and this is no disrespect to the artists that are doing their thing now, but a lot of requirements that it took to be relevant in this game, those requirements are not the same. It's a lot more about fashion now. It's a lot more about swagger. It's a lot more about who is, co-signing you and things of that nature. For me, I wanted to keep the mentality of talent's going to get you in the door, but character is going to keep you there. Like I said earlier, I take my lyrics very seriously. You can ask my engineer, Tiny. I'm the type of artist that will come in and record a verse 12 times, and out of the 12, 11 will be damn near perfect, and I still want to do it again. And he's actually had to kick me out of the studio a few times, spending too much time on one verse. But that's my man, you know what I mean? If I'm falling short on my delivery, he's definitely gonna let me know. I thrive off, hearing a lot of production before I decide what I'm going to go with. I've had the pleasure of working with Dream Life and DJ Payne, my man DJ 456. Even my engineer Tiny has some records on this track. And this project is special in more ways than one. And I think people are going to get an opportunity to see how I started and where I'm at all in one in this project.
Okay. So what are some artists you want to work with in the game that you may have not got a chance to work with yet?
Oh man, if I had a crystal ball to see my future, it'd be a lot easier to answer that question. But I definitely want to work with Sean Carter. It would be a dream come true to be on the track with the great HOV. Man, he's out of every artist that has ever played a role in my career as far as influence is concerned, he is definitely the most influential. I know he's retired now, but Joe Budden, I would love to work with him. Black Thought from the Roots, Fabulous, my man Dave East, I would love to get on the track with him. This album actually features my man Rex, out of Boston, Massachusetts, who everybody knows as, one of the illest lyricists, in the game, period. My man Sky Zoo has a drop on this joint. He has been very influential and very instrumental in my development as an artist. I would love to work with Kendrick Lamar. I think Kendrick is probably one of the most versatile artists that we have. I'm a big fan of The Weeknd. I would, love to, do a joint with him. And last but certainly not least, Travis Scott, because that kid is freaking amazing. So I would love to get a hook from Travis Scott.
Okay.
So there's a question we like to ask everybody. If you could have a dream collaboration, one artist, one producer, who's gonna do that second verse and who gonna make the beat?
Oh man, oh God, we talking about just one solo artist or
Dead or Alive?
Dead or Alive. So one artist and one producer. Oh man, I would have to say I would want Tupac Shakur as the featured artist, and I would have to go with DJ Premier on the ones and twos.
That's hard.
That's what I would want right there, man.
That's hard. That's legendary.
Yeah, that's legendary. So do you like performing or recording more? Like, which one do you prefer?
You know what? I don't know if I have like an actual preference. I will say that for me, recording is a lot tougher than performing. Because, being an actor, once them lights come on, it's kind of like when the red dot comes on, on the camera. When you're doing a live performance, there is no cut. You have to know your script, forward and backwards, and you have to do everything you can to, execute and perform at a high level. What I love most about recording is that it's kind of like being in practice, getting ready for the game. Because when you're recording, you can lay something down, and if you're not satisfied with it, you always go back and do it again. But when it comes down to performing, I personally approach every performance that I do as if it's the only performance I'm going to have, to audition to bring in, new supporters, new fans, new followers. But I also approach as if it's my last performance, because not every independent artist has the opportunity to get, to be on certain stages. So I feel like you need to seize every opportunity that you get. Another thing about performing is the opportunity to transform, because once the music gets to going, especially if I got my band behind me and you get the beauty of having the beat and the live instrumentation at the same time, it just elevates the level of not just having fun, but the level of execution is performed at a higher level as well, man. And I can't wait till this whole thing is over with so I can get back on the stage, man, because Lord knows I miss it.
For sure. So what do you see yourself in the next 3 years? Like, what would you like for Pro Status to be? Would it be more on the music side than the acting, or more acting than the music, or kind of like a mix of both?
I want a Grammy and I want an Oscar. That's what I'm going for. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. If I don't get it, it's all on me. I didn't get into this game just to have fun. I didn't get into this game to have notoriety, because I've actually lost a lot of friends and gained unexpected friends, in this process. I definitely didn't work as hard to stay the same. And, that's not to sound arrogant or anything like that, but I know what my purpose is. I know exactly what I want, and I know that I need to execute every hour of the day. Some people talk 24/7, but for Pro Status it's 25/8. That's just the way it is for me. So that's exactly what I want. And if doors are not going to be open for me, then I'm just going to have to knock them down myself.
Okay. So what would be the one thing that sets you apart from other artists in the game?
My work ethic. My work ethic is something that was instilled in me, once again, from my college coach. I am a firm believer that will outdo skill on, any given day. And I also believe that execution will also beat talent. A lot of people are born with talent. They're born into a great situation, but they don't know how to navigate themselves through, trials and tribulations when those plans arise. I prefer taking the stairs over taking the elevator. I may be, tired and in some pain, when I get to, a certain level or a certain floor, but I'm going to know more, I'm going to last longer, and I'm going to be a lot more prepared than anybody else that's in the same realm as me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you more interested in signing a deal or staying independent?
Man, the game has changed so much when it comes down to, being on a label and then being independent, because a lot of artists now are doing everything they can to own their masters. For me, it is about longevity. If I could have my way, I would love to have major connections while remaining independent. But also, if it came down to signing a deal, who I am involved with or who my fellow label mates are would play a huge role in who I would sign with. If I was to be offered a deal tomorrow, I would hope that it would be somebody like a Roc Nation or, a Good Music. I want to be a part of a label that I feel like can elevate me not just as an artist, but just as a public figure overall. I want to be able to touch every part of the surface.
So say you sign at your dream deal today, what would be your first purchase?
Oh man, my first purchase?
And why?
I would pay off any debt that I had. That'll be the first purchase.
Smart.
Yeah, I would pay off any debt that I had because once again, in this industry, people they say that they want to do things for you and they say they want to help you, and then 5 minutes later they're holding certain things over your head. I don't want to owe anything or anybody nothing. Like, I just don't. So the first thing that I would do is just clear up my debt, and the second thing that I would do is make sure that my mother and my father were straight and not have to worry about anything. The tangibles are going to come and go, but I would secure the bag a different way, and it wouldn't be with any accessories or any cars or anything like that.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit to us about this video we're about to watch.
All right, so this one was shot in Los Angeles by my man Curtis Rogers. Shot by Kurt, C87 Films, man. It's called Velocity. It was hot as hell in Los Angeles in the month of December when we shot this. And I spent a lot of time in LA, not just on the music side of things, but on the acting side as well. It's like a second home to me. LA has been very instrumental in my development overall, on both sides. And Velocity was actually on an album called God Built Him to Last. It's one of the first tracks that you hear. And what I love most about this video is that I think Kurt did a great job of getting all sides of me. He saw the extra confident version of me. He saw the vulnerable version of me. And even though it's a simple video, simplicity speaks volumes when it's done the right way.
Yeah. So, no further ado, people. We're going to check out the video. Pro Status with Velocity. Let's check it out.
Create, pro life, elevate, pro status, cultivate, God built him to last. All right. Oh shit, velocity. Velocity, got the game on lock and key. Lyrical atrocity, y'all just can't fuck with me, huh? Velocity. Told y'all niggas, velocity, got the game on lock and key. Lyrical atrocity, y'all just can't fuck with me, huh? The game's over for you suckers, you can't play no more. Pro status done snap, it ain't safe no more. You pricks had your chance, now I'ma do it my way. What I got planned for you niggas might boost the crime rate. Unstable mental state, I don't plan to pump the brakes. Leveled up times 10, and you can't match the rate. My soul lost and found, hard-headed with a crown. I lost a lot of friends, my real niggas still down. I kept my hands clean, guess I gotta kill now. Even these fraud niggas know shit is getting real now. I remain all in, still against all odds. Only know one style, and it's called go hard. I'm way too conceited, I'm no good to these broads. Too many tricks in my bag like Fab with the go yard. I get more love from strangers than from people that know me, but I'm still doing favors for niggas that owe me. What the fuck? Velocity. Velocity, got the game on lock and key. Lyrical atrocity, y'all just can't fuck with me, huh? Velocity, 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 got the game on lock and key. Lyrical atrocity, y'all just can't fuck with me, huh? I'm just getting started, you ain't seen nothing yet. My attitude's like fuck it, I forget but don't forget. Got a few proud moments, got even more regrets. Got some trouble on my mind I have yet to address. Anytime they told me no, I told myself yes. After going through it all, I'm not easily impressed. Y'all created a monster, love your life, don't bother. We carry our missions heartless like suicide bombers. Renegade type of nigga, ace of spades type of nigga. Bring light to the darkness, self-made type of nigga. No shade type of nigga, keep the change type of nigga. My ambition as a writer, bring the pain type of nigga. Ah! Velocity, 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 velocity. Velocity, got the game on lock and key. Lyrical atrocity, y'all just can't fuck with me, huh? Velocity, 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 got the game on lock and key. Lyrical atrocity, y'all just can't fuck with me, huh?
So that was Velocity by Pro Status. That's a nice joint right there, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm humbled.
Yeah, man. So we got the Tyson and what is his name? Roy Jones.
You actually forgot his name?
Next week, because he the knockout. He the punching bag. Tyson versus the punching bag. Who you go for?
Oh man. Well, Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. is actually something that I'm definitely looking forward to, man. Iron Mike is, I don't know, like both of them are very iconic, man.
You think he smoked too much weed now?
We talking about Tyson?
Yeah.
Or we talking about Roy?
Tyson.
Whatever Tyson is doing is working for him. whether he's on the ganja or not. You know, whatever Tyson is doing. Like, I want to be like Mike. When I'm his age, like his physical presence right now is amazing. For him to have been out of the sport, for so long. Yeah, so just seeing what he's doing is definitely inspirational, man. But I don't see Roy Jones, backing down by no means at all. I really don't.
He's not.
I just hope it lasts more than 5 rounds.
Yeah. So, man, before we get out of here, you got anybody you want to send some love to, shout out?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank everybody that had anything to do, with this project. My man Rex, my man Aliano, Retta Simone, Arcando, Brianna Marvin, DJ Payne, Dream Life, Sean Judah, Seven Rich, G.I. Magus. Oh goodness, who else we got on this project, man? My man Tiny Williams, who stayed up with me countless nights, making sure, that we did this thing proper. My man Motor General, my man Courtesy, my man Sky Zoo. Just thank you to everybody who lended their talent to me, because you didn't have to do this. I'm a movement by myself, but every single one of y'all made this project better, and I can't wait to share it with the world. Innovation 3 Anxiety is about my battle with mental health, my battle with depression, and a lot more other things, man. So anybody that is dealing with life with a dark cloud over their head, this project is for you. I made it, and so can you.
So let them know when the album dropping again.
The album is dropping Black Friday, November 27, 2020. And what's beautiful about this project, I'm giving you a primary edition on Black Friday, but you will get a deluxe edition on Christmas Day 2020. I actually wanted to record a double album, and we decided to cut it into, a 2-for-1 deal. So the first one will have, the standard version, and then we're giving you guys a whole bunch of bonus content on December 25th.
Y'all have an Innovation 3 coming out Black Friday, Pro Status.
We appreciate you coming through, man.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, man. Hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and once again, I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. That's been another episode of The Rundown.
Yo, what's happening, man? It's the Kid Double R, man. Shouts out to Circle Internet Radio. Interview on the way. You know what it is. It's the Kid.
It's your boy YK Lil J. I'm checking in. You can check me out on Facebook, ATK Lil J, Instagram, Mr. Walk Down. And shout out to Circuit Radio for interviewing me. Interview dropping soon.
Man, what's that, man? AB on Belzer, man. I'm rocking with Circuit Internet Radio. Shout out my boy G, man. We just dropped the exclusive interview. Go subscribe to my YouTube, AB on Belzer. Follow me on Instagram, AB on Belzer _ Mixtape on the way.
4K Trey, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. Go follow my interview. OBG be the gang. Look me up on YouTube. Follow me on IG, 4K.Trey _ gang.
Circle Radio. Circle Radio. All independent, all day long.